The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we have some events for you to close out the summer with our special Labor Day Open Weekend preview. After that, we'll sit down with a Latino Sports founder, Julio Pabon, to discuss all things sports and giving back to the Latino community. Plus, we'll find out about this year's Silent Procession for Puerto Rico and how you can participate in support of La Isla del Encanto. Then we'll talk about the significance of hip-hop when we'll learn about a fairly new online platform called Hip Hop Blvd that shares everything about hip-hop and more. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight shines on singer and songwriter Darlene Octavia, who closes out the show with a singing performance. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Welcome to Open, everyone. Don't forget, always inviting you to get social with us. Tweet us at Bronxnet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. It's officially the last summer weekend. But, with Labor Day, of course, it's the tail end of it all. We have a few things for you to step out and enjoy. So be sure to grab your pen and paper and be ready because it's now time for the Open Weekend Preview. Hey, so if you want to chill and have fun, Bronx Narratives and Funk Vibes in collaboration with the Bronx Museum of the Arts is having a Bronx Speaks Day Party with an ode to hip-hop and Bronx culture. The party is set to have live performances, guest DJs, games, merchandise, food, and more. And the event will take place on Saturday, September 1st from 5 to 10 p.m. And that is happening at the Bronx Museum of the Arts, and RSVP is required for free entry. Now, if you plan to spend Labor Day with your family, then you can check out the Circus Amok Show, a one-ring spectacular featuring jugglers, stilt dancers, stilt walkers, dancers, acrobats, and puppets for the family to enjoy. The show is expected to take place this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Socrates Sculpture Park in Queens, and it's free. My favorite word. And where are all my West Indians? Yeah, that's right. The annual West Indian Parade is back in full effect this Sunday. That's right. The West Indians will all gather in Crown Heights, Brooklyn to dance, eat, and have a grand old time listening and dancing to the sounds of soca and reggae. That's right. You can tell I'm excited about it. The parade is happening from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's running along Eastern Parkway to Crown Heights. And so, there you go, mi gente. It's time to, go out this summer and make sure you get out and enjoy the last of it. That's right. Boo-hoo. It's a cruel summer. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, mi gente. All right, so here we go. Last week, the 24th annual basketball game and Family Health Day kicked off the Orchard Beach, filled with information on health, medical screening, games, and a day of family fun. Reporter Darissa White has the story.
The 24th annual Celebrity Basketball Game and Family Day kicked off at Orchard Beach on a perfect summer day this past Sunday. The teams that played were Bronxnet Television versus Latino Sports, followed by Harlem Legends versus Puerto Rico Pro Legends. The friendly competition between the two organizations was inspired to promote wellness and healthy living in the Bronx. Before the game kicked off, we caught up with Michael Maxnavi, Executive Director of Bronxnet, and Julio Pabon, President of Latino Sports.
It's a community day, and it's really about bringing the community together at what is New York City's Riviera, the Bronx Riviera, Orchard Beach. At the Joe Pops Cruz basketball court, there are athletes, young people, community people coming together, raising awareness about health and fitness. There's health screenings and great community people to meet, as well as good spirited sport.
Well, this is like legendary. The fact that there are institutions that don't even last a couple of years, and the fact that we've been doing this for 24 years, it's a significant thing to know that we have a lot of support from the community, because health is very important. So this is basketball, but it's really about health.
We spoke to some players from Bronxnet to get their take on the fun-filled event, including one player who is really living up to his nickname.
Now, why do they call you Shooting Steve?
I make 1,000 shots every single day. Today is the 717th day that I've been doing this, so I made 717,000 shots and counting in 717 days. At the end of the 1,000 days, I'll make $1 million. Then I'm relocating to California to train with Bone Collector and the Professor.
It's a good time. Beautiful weather, nice crisp Sunday. We haven't had too many opportunities to come out and ball like this over the last 3-4 weeks given the weather, but it's a beautiful day. Looking forward to hit the court, get some action in, and it should be fun.
Everyone felt confident they'd be taking home the bragging rights trophy, including Joe Cruz Jr., captain of Latino Sports and president of Hoops in the Sun.
I'm gonna say we lost 3 years in a row, so I think it's about our time to really turn the curse for the better. So I think we're gonna bring it home to this afternoon.
Michael Maxnavi gave his team an inspiring pep talk in their huddle.
You're familiar, Bronx strong, Bronx.
So again, this is what it's all about. 24 years.
The first half started out strong for both Latino Sports and Bronxnet, with Bronxnet trailing behind by a mere point until both teams were eventually tied. Bronxnet ultimately broke that tie at the buzzer for halftime. I spoke with Bronxnet players to hear their thoughts on the game so far.
That just helps us to be mentally prepared for the second half. And hopefully the other team is going to be ready for what we're going to come out with. We got Corky, we got Mark, legends here in New York City, so we are ready here to prepare for the second half.
Old legends. But you know what? We got to get him some open shots.
Yes.
Right here. All right? The Latin assassin.
And then for you, Corky, you pulled that shot off like no one thought you would. What? How does this make you feel?
Well, it's just part of the game. Whatever comes naturally at the moment. I really jumped high, about 2 inches off the ground, but I got around that big body and went off the backboard. But that's not, just natural ability on instinct of how to shoot and whatnot. And to maintain this lead, if we don't play a little bit more defense than we do, we're going to lose the game if we don't play no defense.
Halftime wasn't just about basketball. The community came out for some Zumba.
Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming.
When the game resumed, Latino Sports came back with a vengeance, but couldn't quite catch up. Bronxnet won the game with a final score of 65 to Latino Sports 56. Although the game was competitive, everyone was focused on getting out, playing some ball, and taking advantage of the summer day. If you are interested in competing next year on either team, you can visit latinosports.com or bronxnet.org. Reporting for Bronxnet, Darissa White.
And thank you, Teresa. Victory for Bronxnet this year. And so Latino Sports is here. Well, and they're known for keeping its followers up to date with the sports world, but they're also known for giving back to the community with their many events, including 21 Days of Clemente, a celebrity basketball game, which we just witnessed, and the Latino MVP Baseball Awards. And joining us now to tell us more, we welcome founder of Latino Sports, Julio Pabon. Julio, I'm sorry, te lo perdiste this year.
Yes, and we also add one more thing to that. We added in the last, 9 years. We do the marathon in 138th Street because, you know, the marathon goes through 21 miles, but it only goes through about 6 blocks of the Bronx. And we felt that was like an insult.
Right.
So we said, what can we do so that they never forget the Bronx? What we do is we have the best of hip hop and the best of salsa, which are the two genres of the Bronx, playing at that 21-mile mark. So when they get there, they'll never forget that those 9 blocks that they went through, when those short, they'll never forget us.
Yeah, well, I unfortunately missed you guys the last time I ran the marathon. But that was because I was like 6 hours later.
Oh, we had already packed and gone. You know, as soon as it's over, we out. We leave.
So let's talk about this basketball tournament that's been going on for ages, and the competition between Latino Sports and Bronxnet. It's just so hilarious.
Can you say what you said off the air first?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that it's interesting how you guys just passed this trophy back and forth, and one of the things that you mentioned, which I thought was hilarious, was you won, well, Latino Sports won last year, and Bronxnet won this year, but Bronxnet still had the trophy from last year because they never gave it to you.
Well, there's two reasons. One is that we call it the bragging rights trophy.
Right.
And we feel you got much more staff and much more visitors here than we do. I mean, Latino Sports, it's like 5, 6 of us that in and out. So we figured, and besides, our office is cluttered. So we said, you might be able to have it and showcase it better than we do. But just because he walked in with the trophy doesn't mean that they had it from last year.
That's hilarious. And so how long has this been going on between Bronxnet and Latino Sports?
The events have been going on for 24 years, and the games between Bronxnet and us, maybe about a decade already.
A decade. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've seen guys that have been playing that when we first saw them, they came as a kid, and now they're a grown man.
Right. Are you referring to Latino Sports or Bronxnet side?
Latino Sports, because Bronxnet seems to have grown men who seem to have some type of growth hormone, right? That they walk in with these humongous guys every year. And I'm asking for ID. So next year, I'm going to start asking for, you know, Bronxnet ID before these guys actually get on that court, all right?
It's definitely a lot of fun. I've been there in person and experienced it myself.
That's our way. We need to help because the Bronx is the county of New York State that has the worst health record, and it hasn't changed. 62 counties in the state of New York. The Bronx is number 62.
Yes.
And between the problems of obesity, asthma, the high upper respiratory ailments, the Bronx has one of the worst. Our eating habits are terrible. So this is our way of showing that you don't need to, you know, have a lot of money. You don't need to go to a gym. You don't need to invest money in weights and all that stuff. If you could just walk, if you could just dribble, we have Zumba classes in the middle. We have little contests where we invite people to come and throw a ball, like if you get into the hoop. And thanks to the Yankees, we give them tickets, you know. So thanks to Goya this year, no high fructose juice. It was pure, organic coconut water.
Nice.
So thank you, Goya.
That was a good plug.
They're following in through the whole thing of keeping
That's
people
wonderful.
healthy. And then we have Bronx Care that every year brings the mobile truck. And it's sad to say that some people come every year and they say that's the only exam they get. When we go there and we make everybody go through the little, you know, exam where they get the cholesterol check, the high blood pressure, and the sugar level.
So they're reliant on this event.
And there are people that actually come every year. And this year we had a problem with the truck. It broke down. And you should have seen the number of people that were coming up to us and says, oh yeah, ¿dónde está el tro? Where can I get myself checked? So we feel that that's our contribution to help keep this borough a little bit, you know, healthier.
Well, I think what you do in general just as an ambassador of the entire borough. I mean, in general, you know,
Thank you.
I personally adore you, Julio, and I watch everything that you're a contribution to. And this whole baseball MVP, that's another aspect to Latino sports that we should share with everyone, because that's dealing with the major league players. And
Yeah.
so it's like you deal with the community, but you also deal with the major leagues.
Yeah, we're very happy to say that after 28 years of giving this award, it was an award that was founded because in 1989, a lot of people who followed baseball, but there was no ESPN, there was no, internet. 1989, remember? We still had the old phones. You had to put a quarter in and change.
Are you asking me, remember? Okay, what? I don't know what he's talking to.
Those of you out there know what I'm talking about. So,
Yo no sé. I only hear stories.
That year, there was a Puerto Rican, his name is Ruben Sierra, who had really rocked the league. Everybody thought he was going to be the American League most valuable player. And he wasn't. They overlooked him.
Right.
Because he played for a very low-budget team, the Texas Rangers at the time. So I heard about it, and there was a lot of uproar. People said, well, whoa, he should have been the guy. And they gave it to Robin Yount, who had a very good year, too, but played for a different team. And, of course, being Anglo, get more publicity. So I decided that year that we should give something to this guy. And I came up with the idea of just getting a little plaque. And since in the old stadium, I don't know if you remember, the players had to come out. Okay, here we go again. It wasn't that long ago, right?
All right,
The old stadium
I was there
okay,
for the old stadium because I
Thank
actually
you.
attended that one.
Okay, in the old stadium, the players used to park in the parking lot. The buses used to come, and they used to walk through the street, something that no longer they do, right?
Right.
So if you were a fan and you never could buy a ticket, you can always just go there and stand there in the police barricade, and you can actually be almost this close to a baseball player, and you walk by and they say hello to them. So we figured I could get a plaque, and when Ruben Sierra's bus from the Texas Rangers comes in, he comes out and say, Mr. Sierra, as far as we're concerned, you're an MVP. Somebody heard me say that. They asked me to go on radio. I went on radio, and that just blew up into a whole bunch of stuff. And the first event ever done for that was 1990, the year after, in Yankee Stadium. Since then, Latino Sports was born, and since then, we've been given awards. So this year, for the first time, Major League Baseball is now our sponsor.
That's amazing.
So
what a long way you've come.
So we gave an award last week because sometimes we only could wait until they come to New York. We can't afford to go to wherever they're at. But now with Major League Baseball sponsorship, I'm leaving in 2 weeks to Houston, Texas, to give Altuve, which won the American League MVP, so there's no reason why he can't win the Latino MVP, and Gurriel, the Cuban, who won the Rookie of the Year last year. So I'm going to go to Houston to give those awards, and then we're coming back to New York to do Gary Sanchez. And this year we're going to give a community award to Brian Cashman.
And so this is wonderful. I love that you're shedding, you're sprinkling and sparkling light on the Latino community, which leads me to this new project that you're working on regarding Puerto Rico, because I do want to have a real quick, brief discussion about respect and justice for Puerto Rico, something you initiated last year, and obviously something that we still need to work on. If you could just share a little bit about that before we go.
Sure. And before we do that, I just want to mention that we do have 21 Days of Clemente.
Oh, right.
And that is
in
where...
December, right?
In
That's
December.
yeah.
Roberto Clemente was killed in December. And people forget about baseball, period, in December. So what we do is to teach the values of what Clemente represented, which was giving back, humanitarianism. We invite every school child from the ages of kindergarten to high school senior. And if they do anything on Clemente, it could be a scribble, and give it to us, we exhibit it at the Roberto Clemente State Park.
Beautiful. And that they can send that to latinosports.com,
just
right?
before, on December, the first week of December.
All right. Well, we can revisit that again, but we got to wrap up.
Absolutely.
And so I just really quickly, Respect and Justice for Puerto Rico, that's happening at Pregones in September, right?
We're having one fundraiser there, yeah. But Respect and Justice basically was the fact that a lot of us were very concerned about what happened in Puerto Rico with Maria. Maria did something that very few people understood. It unmasked the real situation of Puerto Rico, where we are citizens, but half of the American population didn't even know we were citizens. And therefore, we felt that we have to do more than just send bottles of water and power plants to Puerto Rico. And we decided to do something that's long-term. And what we decided to do was develop this program called Respect and Justice, a national weekend of respect and justice throughout the United States, where we can then get everybody to just call their congressmen and their senators and tell them, hey, the issue of Puerto Rico needs to be addressed. And how about addressing the Jones Act, which is the reason that why 25% of everything in Puerto Rico costs I mean, 25% more expensive for everything because 90% gets imported.
Right. So we're going to have to save that for another time and another segment because that's a whole nother conversation that is very important. I know the Jones Act plays a huge role in crippling Puerto Rico, and
Big
I would
controversy.
love to. I know it's a huge controversy, but unfortunately we're out of time.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Just
Julio.
remember, people,
Yes.
September 15th.
September 15th.
Pregones Theater, we have our first fundraiser to help us out to do these events in Florida.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Always for having us.
Of course. All right. Once again, you guys, for more on Latino sports, be sure to visit latinosports.com. And for more on respect and justice for Puerto Rico, be sure to follow them on Facebook. And don't forget, the fundraising event is happening September 15th at Pregones, which is located at 575 Walton Avenue, and that begins at 7 p.m. So we are going to discuss more on Puerto Rico with our next guest, so stay tuned.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, we're always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at Bronxnet TV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So September 16th will make 1 year since Hurricane Maria hit the island of Puerto Rico and leaving the people in a state of shock and devastation. Still, a year later. Till today, the island still lacks the resources it needs and a lot more. So just recently, it was reported that the death toll from Hurricane Maria is almost up to like 3,000. There's a lot of controversy with the numbers there, right? Some say more, some say less. However, it's 50 times more, if not more than 50, than 64 of the death toll that was previously recorded, all right? There are not 64 people who have transitioned. There's thousands of people. And so basically that means Puerto Rico still needs our help. And in September, Silent Procession will be held once again to focus the nation's attention on the neglect of U.S. citizens of Puerto Rico. And joining us to tell us more, we welcome founder of Silent Procession NYC 4PR, Carmen Cruz. Hello.
Thank you for having me here.
And welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for coordinating, organizing, and just really conceiving this whole concept of just being silent. And let's just talk a little bit about how that even came to you, right?
Well, you know, when there was paper towels thrown at my people, that's what prompted me, because of the cruelty and disrespect that was shown to Puerto Ricanos. And that was what prompted me to do so. I knew I had to do something.
I'm amazed by how charged you are, even talking about it a year
Yes,
later. Because you're like all teary-eyed just
Yes.
bringing it up.
Yes.
Because
I get very emotional, I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's fine. It's fine. No, do you, and definitely just be free. I appreciate that, and there's a transparency there in how it deeply impacted the way you felt about yourself and your culture.
That's right.
And me too. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican too, so I get it, and I contributed. I was there with you.
Yes,
in
yes,
this whole
you
process.
did march with us. Yes,
yes, yes. But I wanted to share with everyone who's watching what this style of procession, of just a way of just kind of fighting back without fighting, fighting
Exactly.
back harmoniously,
Yes.
energetically.
Yes. Look, there's a lot of rallies, there's a lot of demonstrations. There's not a right and wrong, okay? But if you want to get people's attention, you hit them with the roar of silence. And the voice of the processions is in banner forms. The memoriam for lost lives, USA citizens, surviving trauma. This year I added the exempt Puerto Rico from the Jones Act, and of course rebuilding Puerto Rico.
And then, of course, there were the signs of the lips with the fingers announcing, or basically reminding everyone to be silent. And I can share from firsthand experience how powerful that was to march all the way from 106th Street all the way to 57th Street in silence. And the way people responded to us.
Yes.
And while I know you wanted more people there, it was the first time out. We had hundreds of people, and we had the street closed down for us.
Yes, yes, and the police were wonderful. They protected, you know, as you very well know, they were so cooperative. And you're right. I mean, and everyone, because I had a luncheon for all the volunteers at my home, and we went around and spoke about their experience, and everyone was on point with the same experience, that we were embraced. We were embraced by the spectators, and people actually, when they saw that it was a silent procession, they became silent,
Right.
as you very well know.
Yes, yes. It
know?
just kind of, it was like a nice pool, a sea of just silence.
Yes.
And just this unified energy of just respecting those who had transitioned on. Right, and now the procession has expanded this year.
Yes.
And now there's going to be a simultaneous procession happening in Washington.
No,
in
it's
Puerto Rico.
It's going to be in Puerto Rico and New York.
Right.
You know, we thought that LA was going to do it, but that just didn't, you know, it fell through. But it's
So it's
okay.
Puerto Rico
It's
and New
Puerto
York.
Rico and New York, which is powerful because Puerto Rico really, the connection, you know, they are in compatibility with us, and they're acknowledging and recognizing our efforts. One of the things that I'm doing this year that I added is posters. And behind USA Citizens, because we are demanding the same human rights afforded to all USA citizens. That's the demand of the procession overall. And from Puerto Rico, they sent me all their demands, and that's going to be carried in poster forms behind USA Citizens. So that behind USA Citizens is the voice directly from Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And of course,
So are people forming teams? Are there different, because I know everybody meets up at White Park.
Yes.
But I'm almost positive this is going to be even bigger this year.
Yes, it is.
And so, if somebody's just listening now and they want to form a team, is there a sign up or something that they need to do?
No,
to
all they
register?
need to do is show up at 9:30 in the morning at White Park. Everyone is required to wear white clothing because that symbolizes that we come in peace, with hope and faith. Because I still believe that we have to continue being hopeful, and I still believe that we need to have faith in this government.
Right.
Okay.
I like that you're really you're being very deliberate about your words and your intentions, because everybody's fighting, and it's kind of like, well, this is where we are, and this is who we are, and this is what we have to work with. Work with us.
Yes, yes.
Give us what's rightfully ours.
Exactly, exactly. We are USA citizens, and there's no reason why the Puerto Ricans in the island should be treated any less or any different. They are, this is a humanitarian procession.
Nice.
And all we are demanding is those equal human rights and treat us as human beings. I mean, that paper towel throwing was, that really symbolized just how this government feels about Puerto Ricanos.
Well, how they feel about anybody who's of color.
Well, that's true.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Exactly.
However, we come in peace with faith and hope, and I love that. I love those words. Thank you so much, Carmen, for your efforts and for making sure that this happened again this year. It's unfortunate that it has to happen again this year. However, it's a blessing that you're able to do it.
Well,
and so you guys, if you want to participate in the Silent Procession, it's actually, once again, it's the Silent Procession New York City for PR is taking place September 23rd at White Park at East 106th Street. Make sure White Park is located on 106th Street between Lexington and 3rd, and make sure you arrive there by 9:30 a.m. There's going to be a lot of people there, and of course, please come dressed in all white. It looks so beautiful. And the walk will then proceed from there, from 106 between 3rd and Lexington to Trump Towers at 57th Street and 5th Avenue. And once again, everything is handled in complete silence. The procession will begin at 10:45, but again, we're advising that everyone arrive at 9:30. And if you're interested in obtaining more information on the Silent Procession, you can visit them by going to Silent Procession NYC, the number 4 PR on Facebook. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about a platform showing the many faces of hip hop. So don't go anywhere.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. We're always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at Bronxnet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So everyone knows that the Bronx is the birthplace of hip hop, but not everyone knows the positive impact that it has on the community. And so Hip Hop Blvd has created a platform to share everything revolving around hip hop, from DJs to artists, hip hop executives, and more. And joining us to tell us more about the Hip Hop Blvd, we welcome Hip Hop Blvd owner Al Pizzaro. Hello.
Well, hello to you. Wow, I'm happy to be here today.
Al, I'm happy you're here too. And it's always my absolute pleasure to reintroduce previous guests in whatever new platform they're embarking on. And just mainly because everybody's it's kind of serving the community in a way of just kind of like enlightening everyone and just providing another outlet so that people can become familiar with what they think they know in a different realm.
Yeah.
Right, I'm born in the era of when hip hop was born, right? Now I wasn't born then. Well, although I live in denial, right? I'm not going to talk. I know we were just talking about Julio.
That, right?
Wait a minute, I wasn't there. No. I don't know about that rotary phone thing, but Yeah, I went back there. But hip hop, you know, it kind of transformed as the years progressed. And so it sounds to me that you're bringing it back to like these are all the departments it serves.
Look, let me give props to Julio Pabon, who introduced me to Jacob Morris, who was trying to do this for 8 years to rename 1520 Sedgwick, which is the birthplace of hip hop, 1973, August 11th. That's when that happened. But for all this time, we had no legitimate reason to really celebrate. An economic boom, come on, all over the world, billions of dollars being made. So we had to do something. That was the beginning. So now we got Hip Hop Boulevard, and then we did the website.
And then you did the website. You know what's dope is that I didn't even realize that Julio was associated with the birth of Hip Hop Boulevard. And you know, we had Julio on, obviously we just had him on previously in a previous segment, but when I saw his name attached to yours, I was like, wow, look at this. Sigue con community advocacy. That's why I call him the Bronx ambassador.
Together.
He's the Bronx ambassador. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. But keep going. Keep going. Tell us.
So now, this platform is a little more than just a website. Because how many different stories, how many hip hop boulevards there are in different cities, different countries where they started hip hop there.
Right.
And we're connecting all of those together. And we're not doing you know, I'm not going to type up, let me interview you and type up. No, we're doing an audio. So that way there's no misinformation.
Right.
You're getting it straight from the person. And there's so many people involved in hip hop that we have to do this. And it's happening here. It comes from the Bronx. So I want to give credit to the Bronx and the Bronx Borough President for helping us get a proclamation for this. Because that's another story.
Yeah, the Bronx Borough President, Ruben Diaz Jr. Well, he's considered the hip hop borough president.
Look at that.
You know, which is lovely. It's just lovely. You know, the thing is that hip hop got a little bit of a bad rap for a little while, right? Because it started, and to be honest with you, I am one of those that I kind of live in like, there's a place for everything. So everything serves a purpose, whether it be good or bad or have you. But hip hop was kind of steering more predominantly in a direction that really, it was unfortunate because certain age brackets are no longer able to listen to it.
Right. But look
so now there's that restriction.
But look at this. There's been a change in hip hop. The way it's presented, the music that you hear, the lyrics are being presented, but there are the people who created, the pioneers that are involved in the Hip Hop Museum, that are involved in Windows of Hip Hop, that are involved in all kind of outdoor events, the Tools of War, doing their, I mean, there are a lot of different facets and components. Why don't we expose all of those and let people know how we're doing, how we're moving forward with this stuff?
So with Hip Hop Boulevard, what you say, it sounded to me like you have a podcast. Is that what you got going on? It's not a podcast. It's like an interview style that is audio. So that it's almost like audio books. Instead of audio magazines, you got audio. I mean, instead of a magazine, you've got like an audio magazine style.
But we don't want them we don't want them to look at their phone and try to read. We want them to be able to drive and be able to listen to an interview.
Nice.
And, you know, we just got Sir Popolot out of L.A. that's going to be doing all the break dancing and all the facets of the dance side. We got Jazzy J doing the whole equipment side. So we got Steve Richardson taking care of the DJs, and he's a DJ out of Connecticut. So we have all these components that we're adding on because we want to be able to take care of all the 5 elements of hip-hop and more.
And what are the 5 elements? What are the 5 elements?
What do we got? We got dance.
Right.
Right. We got the DJ component. Right. We got the graffiti component. Right. We got the MC because you know the MC and
that it originates from hip hop.
And then we got the music.
And then the music. Nice.
So with all that happening,
I thought sneakers were going to be in there, but it's
all.
Hey. I was a Puma girl with the thick laces, you know.
And look. I got to give shout out to Curtis Blow and Van Silk and Cool Cow because they helped us get the proclamation on August 12, 2017. And you know what? I want to present you with something. And I know that it's long overdue. Okay?
Okay.
Look at this. Right off of my head.
Right off of your head? And you know I'm going to take it because you don't have hair in your head. This for me?
That's for you.
That's what's up. Thank you, Al Pizzaro. Loving it, you guys. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the hat too, by the way. So thank you once again for being here, and thank you for your contributions to the hip hop and the next generation, to the hip hop genre and the next generation. And for you guys to stay up to date in the hip hop world, be sure to visit Hip Hop Boulevard. That would be blvd.net. Hip Hop blvd.net.
And can I give a quick shout out?
Quick shout out, quick.
Terry Nelson, Tony Tone, Alex, you all helped me put this together. I didn't forget you guys.
That's
Thank
what's
you.
up. All right, Al Pizzaro, everyone, Hip Hop Boulevard. All right, we got to stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
I love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
This is Bobby C reporting from MetLife Stadium, where the New York Football Giants wrapped up the preseason on Thursday night with mixed results, but the consensus in the locker room in the postgame, the players are ready to start the regular season. Although Big Blue would fall to New England tonight, Dante Dion hauled in 2 interceptions and had a big evening.
Making those plays comes from a lot of instincts, anticipation, and things like that. So a lot of it goes into that. At this point, I put it all out on the table. I put all my best foot forward. So at this point, it's just what happens, happens.
Great, just a great performance, man. All around, I can't even speak enough great things about how you just came out here and his mindset, his mentality, he did exactly what he had to do, and I'm happy for him.
For young up-and-comers like second stringer Davis Webb, the preseason provides an opportunity to prove to the Giants that he's ready for big games.
I did the best I could, and I think I showed the coaching staff, but most importantly my teammates, that I can play quarterback and for this team, and whenever I get my next chance, hopefully I'll be ready.
We have high hopes shooting for the Super Bowl every single year, so preseason is necessary. It's a little long at sometimes, but it's good to be done with, and very excited for the people in this locker room, and very excited for what's ahead.
Third stringer Danny Etling tossed a 1-yard touchdown pass to Ralph Webb early in the second half and iced the game with an 86-yard run late as the Patriots beat the Giants 17-12 in the preseason finale. The G-men will now open the season on September 9th against Jacksonville at home. Christian Hackenberg had a rough audition for an NFL roster spot, tossing 2 interceptions, but the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles rallied to beat the New York Jets 10-9 on Thursday night to avoid a winless preseason. Certainly looks like Gang Green is going to hand the reins over to rookie signal caller and top draft choice Sam Darnold. The Jets traded fellow quarterback Teddy Bridgewater to New Orleans for draft picks this week. Bridgewater and a 6th rounder to the Saints in exchange for a 3rd-round pick, which the Jets could package for coveted Oakland pass rusher Khalil Mack. Gang Green opens the regular season on September 10th in Detroit. Primetime Monday Night Football for Darnold and company. Side note, I would expect Bridgewater, only 25 years old, to possibly replace Drew Brees in New Orleans in 2 years. On the baseball diamond, the Bronx Bombers returned home this week and looked within striking distance of another shot at the division heading into September at about 6 games out. But Thursday night may have finally stuck a fork in those slim hopes and dreams for the Yankees. Victor Martinez hit his second home run of the game, and Nico Goodrum followed with a homer off Delin Betances in the ninth inning, rallying the Detroit Tigers past the New York Yankees 8-7. Pinstripers are now 8.5 back in the American League East, but 4.5 up in the wild card. That's the good news. Even a stunning defeat could not spoil the memory of Giancarlo Stanton's first Yankee Stadium curtain call, as the slugger said he'd finally recall the circumstances surrounding his 300th career home run in Thursday night's loss. Stanton became the 5th fastest player to reach 300 homers in terms of games played when he jumped on Francisco Liriano's 3-1 pitch in the third inning, muscling a 2-run homer to right field. The blast came with Aaron Hicks aboard and gave New York an early 2-1 lead. The milestone was reached in Stanton's 1,119th career game. Only Ralph Kiner, Ryan Howard, Juan Gonzalez, and Alex Rodriguez reached 300 homers faster than Stanton, who hit 267 homers for the Miami Marlins before being traded to New York in the offseason. Stanton is the reigning National League Most Valuable Player, and you can never have enough MVPs on your team, right? I think Yanks GM Brian Cashman feels the same way. The Bombers have agreed to acquire 5-time All-Star outfielder Andrew McCutchen from the San Francisco Giants. According to reports, the Yankees would send a pair of minor league prospects to San Francisco to put the 31-year-old in pinstripes. McCutchen would provide needed outfield depth for the Yankees, who have been without slugger Aaron Judge since July 26th due to a fractured right wrist. The right-handed hitting McCutchen was batting .255 with 28 doubles, 2 triples, 15 homers, and 55 RBIs in 130 games for the Giants, stealing 13 bases in 19 tries. More on the former NL MVP in the C-list. Stay tuned. Ben Zobrist hit a bases-loaded RBI single in the 11th inning to give the Chicago Cubs a 2-1 victory over the New York Mets and their season-high 7th straight win on Wednesday in a game that was suspended the previous night because of rain. The Amazons will open a weekend series in San Francisco tonight. Their captain may actually play in meaningful games this September. David Wright is rejoining the Mets, just not to play for them, at least right now. After only 2 games with AAA Las Vegas, the Mets captain ended his minor league rehab assignment Thursday and was headed to San Francisco, where he will continue workouts with the major league staff but remain on the disabled list. According to club sources, Wright is expected to remain on the DL through the duration of the road trip and continue working out with the club. The Mets return home against Philadelphia next Friday, which could serve as a potential target date for Wright's comeback. We shift gears and hit the hardwood for a closer look at the Big Three Championship last Friday night in Brooklyn.
The Big Three is jammin'. Rapper Ice Cube brought the house down at the Barclays Center Friday night, setting the stage for his Big Three championship. The crowd in the BK was loving it too, witnessing history with Big Three Coach of the Year and Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman leading top-seeded Power to the title. She becomes the first female coach to lead a men's team to the championship.
When I had the opportunity to be the coach of this team, I was blessed beyond recognition. This team is about friendships, it's about growth, it's about caring about one another.
League MVP Corey Maggette scored 27 points to lead Power to a 51-43 victory over Three's Company in the title game.
Man upstairs found a way for me to play, and I'm just really thankful. You know, I had a long road last year, tearing my Achilles, and man, it's something sweet. I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful for all these guys.
Former Celtics forward Glenn Davis is a champion once again, too. After 9 seasons in the NBA, including 4 with Boston, where he won the NBA crown in 2008, Davis was flooded with emotions.
I was dealing with depression before I accepted the contract, and you guys brought that back to me.
In the third-place game, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf's three-pointer gave Three-Headed Monsters a 52-49 victory over Tri-State.
That was our game plan. At the same time, it's attack. Be aggressive. If they give you any breathing room, you can't think about it. You just have to let it go, thinking about game 1. And that's what was in my mind at the time.
Some games, some league expect to see a lot more from the Big Three in the near future. There were even rumors of late that Kobe Bryant would consider joining the league next year. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. College football is back. The Alabama Crimson Tide begin defense of their latest national title Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time when they face the Louisville Cardinals in Orlando, Florida. Alabama is a 24.5-point sportsbook favorite. Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and Notre Dame are my top 4 college football programs in the country. Expect one of them to win the playoffs this year. No surprises there. Locally, Fordham football will get underway in Charlotte Saturday night. That game gets rolling at 6 p.m. You can tune into WFUV 90.7 FM to listen to the game live. Olympic star Usain Bolt said it would take 4 months for him to reach his best after a first football cameo appearance for A-League club Central Coast Mariners. A crowd of 9,958, around 2,500 higher than the Mariners' average home attendance last season, turned out for Bolt's bit-part role in his Mariners debut. The match was broadcast last night in 60 countries in Africa, Asia, and Europe as Bolt's global appeal was underlined. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to talk the latest Yankee prize. Yankee fans are worried about Aaron Judge, and they probably should be. His recovery from injury is taking longer than expected, and the Yankees' deal for Andrew McCutchen might be a sign that things are worse than we all think. I actually think the Yanks are just being extremely careful with a player that is a Hall of Famer in the making, and I also believe Brian Cashman could see McCutchen finding his MVP self again in pinstripes. I also truly believe his addition might actually spell the end of Brett Gardner for the Yankees. McCutchen, despite his decline, will be a clear upgrade, assuming he replaces the weak-hitting right field platoon of utility man Neil Walker and 33-year-old Shane Robinson, who's been a regular player in the month of August despite his .208 on-base percentage. McCutchen might also be in for a bump in production simply by moving to a much more hitter-friendly park in Yankee Stadium. On a full-strength Yankees team, McCutchen is probably the 4th best outfielder behind Judge, Stanton, and Hicks. But even if the team improves to full strength, he'll still have plenty to offer as he seeks his first ever championship. I love the deal. I think Kutch will be clutch. How about you? Hit me up at The Voice, Bobby C, and share your opinion. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
We built a media network for you.
Bronxnet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on Bronxnet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at bronxnet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. Bronxnet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
Bronxnet.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. This week's Open Artist Spotlight features an artist who recently moved to New York from London to pursue her music career. She's attended the Brit-famed school with the likes of Amy Winehouse and Adele. She's worked with Grammy Award-winning artist Beanie Man and has sung with the likes of Rod Stewart and Josh Groban. And here now to perform a single, Miss Dependable, please welcome singer and songwriter Darlene Octavia.
In your eyes oh so hard not to hold you back. Only you understand me. Oh, I will always have your back. Miss Dependable, Miss never breaks my heart, Miss never runs away. Miss, I will try again. I can feel you, I can breathe you in my heart and in my veins. Miss Dependable, Miss never breaks my heart, Miss never runs away. Miss, I will try again. I can feel you, I can breathe you in my heart and in my veins. Dry those eyes, you were strong. No regrets for what is gone, you're fine. All you need is time. In the dark, there are stars shining brightly like you are. Be brave, you will have your day. I am trying oh so hard not to hold you back. Only you understand me. How I got so far off track. Miss Dependable, Miss never breaks my heart, Miss never runs away. Miss, I will try again. I can feel you, I can breathe you in my heart and in my veins. Miss Dependable, Miss never breaks my heart, Miss never runs away. Miss, I will try again. I can feel you, I can breathe you in my heart and in my veins.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful way to kick into Labor Day weekend.
Oh, thank you so much.
What an emotional song. You're emotional singing it.
You do get very emotional. It's something very personal to me. Yeah, it's quite an important song to me. So yeah, I do get emotional singing it.
Well, I did read about your journey here to New York from the UK and how this song was inspired. Do you care to share a little more?
So when I arrived in New York maybe 2 to 3 years ago, I found it quite hard. It's quite a culture shock compared to London. New York can be quite harsh and hard and people push past you in the street. And I just felt really, I don't know, I found it quite hard. And this is about being able to depend on yourself first and foremost, because you can have great people around you, but being able to depend on yourself is so important. And it's the inner struggles and battles that I had when I first moved here. So yeah.
Well, thank you, and thank you for putting it in music music form, and for us to be able to listen to it. So where can we find it?
So it's now on Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, all of those, the main music platforms. So please check me out on there. And I also have an Instagram. It's DarleneOctavia.
Woo! Cheerleading Darlene Octavia! Beautiful. Welcome to the Bronx, baby.
Thank you.
Right. So Miss Dependable is now available on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, and Amazon. And please make sure to check her out on Instagram at Darlene Octavia. Woo! All right, you guys, that's our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through. To you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recapcast tonight and 24 hours a day at Bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Adios.